joins. Just got done with a good workout. Got about maybe 10 minutes here. Answer some questions, encourage you guys. See if anybody shows up. It's a pretty nice day outside today. It's pretty cold, but it's nice. It's not too cold. What's up, Dabu? Good to see you. How are you? Where are you watching from? And also, if you have any questions about anxiety, depersonalization, realization, panic attacks, depression, OCD, I'd be happy to give some thoughts on it. Nevada. Do you say Nevada or Nevada? Because I know that there's a huge debate over that. Some people get really upset if you say Nevada instead of Nevada or Nevada instead of Nevada. Yeah, and you know, it's funny. I remember I used to work at a call center. Yeah, and I used to have to get where they live. It was a protection plan company. And one time I either said Nevada or Nevada, but it was wrong. And this person was from there. They're like, who says Nevada? I got all mad. Henry, your question is, will antidepressants help? Will they help what? And I can't give advice about medication, but there is a really good book by a British journalist named Jordan Hardgrave. And he goes over a lot of research related to antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications. And it's called Jordan Hardgrave. I've recommended that book hundreds of times, and I can't think of the name. Jordan Hardgrave. I've never not been able to think of it, but I guess today I can't. Anyway, go look it up. Type in Jordan Hardgrave on YouTube, and he's got a really good book on that. And it's about anxiety. I think it has anxiety and depression in the subtitle. Anyway, it's really, really good. So, you know, make sure to listen to a doctor about that. I can't tell you to take meds, not take meds. That's not what I do. Do you practice gratefulness, or would you recommend it? Very good question. Yeah, I mean, I think gratitude is appealing to the spiritual side of us. I think that we are spirit, soul, and body. And I would never try to force my religious views on anybody. I'm a Christian, but so I pray and I read the Bible and stuff. But regardless of whether you're affiliated with any particular religion, I think that participating in spiritual practices is really important. Because I think we're spiritual beings. I really do. And I think we have a spirit, soul, and body. We're a tripart being. And I think gratitude is part of tapping into that spiritual side of us. So yeah, I definitely express gratitude every single day. I think that's really, really important. You know, there's always going to be something negative to focus on. In fact, our survival brains are expert at pointing out the negative. Have you ever noticed that? Something can be going relatively good, but then your survival brain is going to point out the one negative thing. And that's because we survived because we have anxious ancestors, right? In the African savannah, you had to be anxious in order to survive, and the human genome has not changed. And so we inherited this survival nature that is dead set on pointing out the negative. That's why I do this thing that I learned from former Navy SEAL Commander Jocko Willink. Every time something bad happens, you say the word good, and you see a positive in it. And that's one way to kind of override this survival nature that points out the negative in everything, is you see a positive. It's very, very, very powerful. I've been doing it for years. I swear by it. Dabu says, is being tired constantly throughout the day normal? No, that's not normal at all. You shouldn't be tired throughout the day. Now go see a doctor. Make sure that your thyroid is checked, you know, get your hemoglobin A1C levels checked. That's the last 3 months of your blood sugar. You know, make sure that you're taking magnesium or also vitamin D. A lot of people are vitamin D deficient, and that can make you tired, or just get enough sunlight. So that's what I would say. Cool. If you guys have any questions about anxiety, panic attacks, depersonalization, realization, lay them on me and I'd be happy to answer it for you. What's up, No Man's Land? Good to see you, buddy. How are you? It's a beautiful day here in Arkansas. But yeah, definitely not normal to be fatigued all day. And I mean, you know, I don't know what you're dealing with, but if your body is constantly going into fight, flight, freeze, that's going to make you fatigued because it's draining all your energy. Your body is so focused on survival that you don't have any energy for anything else. Quick to anger and lashing out, is that part of anxiety? I mean, I can't diagnose or anything, and it's hard because there's a lot of questions that I would need to ask. First of all, how's your diet? Because if your blood sugars are off, that can lead to anger, right? If you're not eating enough, or if you are eating enough, but you're not eating healthy foods, make sure to have plenty of proteins, carbs, and fats with every meal. Avoid processed carbohydrates, you know, avoid high sugar foods. You know, you could be dehydrated. That could be part of it. But, you know, if your brain is perceiving threat, if there's some sort of sensory trigger, yeah, anger can be part of that fight response. Think about it, fight or flight. So the fight part of it, aggression, yes. Phil G says, hey, you were in the car this morning. Good seeing you. Yeah, so I've decided that it's just a lot easier just to do videos in my car. I mean, I'm going to do some videos other places too, but it's just so easy. It's got natural lighting. It works out good. Okay, so MJ says, I'm fully recovered from DP. Awesome. But I always wondered why not a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists know a lot about DPDR. Seems like a pretty serious issue to not be covered in the textbook. So, I mean, it is definitely covered in the textbooks, but it's just not something that you would even want to specialize in it unless you've been through it or know somebody that's been through it. And also, if you've never experienced the symptoms, it's like impossible to explain. It's not even something that you could read about and understand. I mean, I've had the ability to be trained by some of the top trauma experts in the world, and even they didn't seem to have much, like some of them did, but they didn't really have much of a grasp on DPDR. Thankfully, I came across a few that did, but you would be shocked at how many don't. People that are literally considered world experts in the field of trauma and neuroscience. You said it's like trying to explain an acid trip to someone who's never tried it. Absolutely. And so, you know, just like, for example, I started to develop reactive hypoglycemia a couple years ago. I'm finally, you know, free of it as long as I eat healthy, but it's basically because I ate terrible. And if you would have tried to explain reactive hypoglycemia to me prior to experiencing it, I would have told you, like, I don't know what you're talking about. So what I'm saying is experience of DPDR is really one of the keys to understanding it and even helping other people. It's not like you can help other people if you've never experienced it before, but I don't know why you would want to or why you would have a passion to if you've never experienced it. I also don't think that it's understood how common that these symptoms are as well. So that's part of why it's understudied. Lena says, is it normal to be scared and anxious whenever you feel like you're going to recover from DPDR? Yeah, absolutely. So I call this state transition anxiety. So whenever I'm working with clients and they're starting to get breaks from symptoms or they're feeling normal again, they're anxious about being calm. And the reason why is our brain associates familiarity with safety. Even if what's familiar is being in fight, flight, freeze all the time, our brain still associates that with safety. And so you have to see this from your brain's perspective, okay? Your brain thinks that you've been being chased by a lion. And so whenever you do things to get your body out of fight, flight, freeze, which is what recovery is all about, and you start to be calm, your brain's going to be like, what are you doing, man? Like, you're going to get yourself eaten. And so your brain's going to perceive threat, and that's going to make you more likely to stress out about being calm. But what I tell people is, after you have calm, safe experiences for an extended period of time, eventually being calm will be the new normal. And that will be what's familiar to you, and thus Being stressed will be abnormal. Let's see here. Hold on one second. I need to clean out my car, my goodness. Let's see here. You said, MJ says, it was so frustrating when I explained my symptoms and my doctors gave me a surprise Pikachu face. Well, I don't know what the surprise Pikachu face is. I'm thinking of the Pokemon. I was thinking Dragon Ball Z. Surprised Pikachu face. I don't know what that is, but it's obviously not good. And it's really sad. But, you know, I tell people all the time, like, I love doctors. We've got a couple doctors in my program right now. And, you know, I love licensed mental professional. Every year I'll coach usually around a dozen or so licensed mental professionals, sometimes more. You know, therapists, psychiatrists, you know, and they're dealing with their own symptoms. Wonderful people. I mean, just some of the best people that you could ever meet. Yet, just because you have an advanced mental health or medical degree does not automatically mean that you have specialized training in particular symptom sets, right? And so it can be a problem for sure. Suit Smiles, what is the acronym? I have no idea what we're talking about. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of people, you know, come to me for help with a particular symptom set called depersonalization and derealization. Depersonalization is whenever you feel detached from your body. Derealization is whenever everything feels fake and dreamlike. And these are trauma coping mechanisms. They show up at the point of traumatic, overwhelming stress. And it's basically just your brain trying to protect you because you're overwhelmed and by making you feel separated. But I also help with anxiety and panic attacks and OCD and health anxiety and all kinds of other symptoms too. And usually I always say DPDR never travels alone, right? There's usually a lot of other symptoms too. But I would love to talk about other symptoms, but those are the ones that people ask the most about. So, and it's a lot easier to help people with generalized anxiety than DPDR and trauma. I'll tell you that much for sure. My gosh, guys, I would love to be an anxiety coach. I've got a couple of friends who are anxiety coaches and like, God, man, I'm not saying, but hey, anxiety is horrible, terrible, will ruin your life. Not trying to minimize it. I walked around with anxiety for 15 years, but there's a difference between anxiety and once you reach traumatic stress and DPDR shows up, your memory fragments, time feels distorted, friends and family feel like strangers. You look in the mirror and see a stranger. You know, it's a whole nother ballgame, okay? All right. So, guys, that's probably all I've got time for. I got to go. Phil G says, I've always thought that more psychologists don't work with DPDR because it's not as widespread as other mental health issues, so it's not their primary focus. That could be it. That's possible. But yeah, it's a mess, guys. It's a mess. Every single day we get tons of applications from people who have went to multiple therapists, multiple psychiatrists, multiple doctors. And again, I love therapists and doctors, but there's not enough help with these symptoms. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just filling in the gap. And I you know, I pray and I tell God, like, as long as you keep sending me people, I'll keep doing this. It's a mission for me. And I do feel like God has called me to do this. He's equipped me to do this. And it's very fulfilling, but it's very, very hard. Okay. I have to be people's hope and carry them through very, very difficult times as they are learning how to self-regulate. It's hard, but I handle it. I'm not stressed. I'm handling it very well, but it's definitely a mission. That's for sure. So anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching my videos and supporting me on this mission. I couldn't do it without you guys. I mean, you know, I never thought that I'd still be doing this 6 years later. And I want you to know, like, I am more than happy to do something else. In fact, I pray all the time, as much as I'm fulfilled by this, like, God, please let me do something else, because I could do so many other jobs. But I keep doing it because I'm just like, if I wasn't here, and by the way, I'm not the only person who's helping with these symptoms. There's a lot of great people out there. But like, if I wasn't here, like whenever I see somebody get out of this month after month, multiple people are getting out of this that work with me. I'm like, what if I wasn't there? You know, and I just, you know, It's just important. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to be for right now. I don't think I'll always do this, but Matt Coghill says, hey, Jordan, I had DPDR 5 years ago. Your videos were the only thing that helped me. I'm now 100% better. Thank you, man. You are a legit lifesaver. All does get better. Oh, that's so awesome, man. I'm so glad, Matt. Well, go and enjoy your life, man. Flap your wings. Time to slay life. Hustle. Tap in your full potential. Eddie, how much do you charge? No, I don't do sessions, people, and I invest a lot of time in them. So you can't change a life in a session. And so I quit doing that many years ago, and I work with people until they're fully recovered. We got group coaching, private coaching. I got a course, and it all works together to deliver the transformation of rewiring the nervous system. We're very particular about who we work with, but, you know, feel free to apply and we'll check you out. But I do have a free masterclass. It's going to be in the link in this video, my profile, that will give you the basic instructions for how to heal with or without me. Okay? No problem, Matt. Congrats, man, on your recovery. And also, as well, who else said that they were recovered? Somebody earlier, MJ, or who was it? I can't remember. Congrats, guys. It's a great course for sure, and thank you so much. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys. Well... Oh, thanks, No Man's Land. I appreciate it. I'm just a regular guy. I'm just an ordinary guy just doing his best to make it in this world. I'm no different than you guys. I just made a decision that enough was enough, and I was going to walk away from the toxic, abusive people that I needed to walk away from. I was going to get back in tune with my body. But friend, I lived up here all the time, guys, 24/7. I was in my head worrying about this thing and that thing and that thing and that thing. And I had to put in a lot of work, but I did it. And you can do it too, okay? You can get out of anxiety. You can get out of panic. You can get out of DPDR, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's not. Okay. And there's a lot of layers to this too. You say, glad to see you're helping people and the change you make. World needs more good doers. Well, that's what I believe my life is for, is to bring light into the darkness. Like I live to shine the light in the darkness and to overcome evil with good. And I see these symptoms and the struggles that people go through as a great injustice, and it wastes people's lives. And, you know, whether I'm doing this or, you know, I've got a real big passion to just help in a lot of different ways, eventually too with other things. But as long as I'm bringing good into the world, you know, and being there for my family, that's all I care about. Well, thanks, guys. Y'all are encouraging me. I sound Southern. Y'all. My wife says y'all like 50 times a day. Y'all. She's actually got a really thick Southern accent, but she suppresses it for whatever. I think it's sexy, but she doesn't want to show it. Oh, thanks, KG and Phil G and No Man's Land, all you guys. Cool. All right, guys, I got to jump off here. I will talk to you very, very soon. I'm going to try to do more of these car uploads for you guys just to encourage you. And, that's it. Have a good day, guys. We'll talk to you real soon. Thanks, KG, Phil G, Matt, Magura, Eddie, Scoot, T Glizzy. Now that sounds like a rap name. T Glizzy, MJ, Lena, anybody else who's watching. You guys take care. Love the Random Car Lives. Yep, that's the new name for it. We're going to call it Random Car Lives. Take care, guys. Have a good day.